Hi, it's Nell, and we're moving on with this succulent series. Today is how to water succulents indoors. So if you like gardening videos, be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as usual, there is a blog post with more details to go along with this video. It will be in the first couple lines of the description box and also on our website, JoyUsGarden.com. So it's important to know that succulents store water in their leaves, their stems, their roots, so they easily mush out. You can rot them out very easily by watering them too often or by keeping them too wet. So this is a really important video. It's one of the most important things to know about succulent care. And what I always do is I let my succulents dry out in between the waterings. I can't really tell you how often to water yours. I can tell you how often I water mine. I'm here in the Arizona desert. In Tucson, it is very warm. In the summer months, I water my succulents on the average about every 3 weeks. And yes, in the darker, cooler months, in those winter months, I do adjust the watering. I back off on the frequency. I water probably about every 5 weeks. That's all they need. Plants tend to rest in those winter months too. So I do not water nearly as often. So now I'm going to tell you some variables to think about when it comes to watering, succulents. So the smaller the pot, the more often you will need to water. If the soil is heavier, the less often you will need to water. If you're in a more humid climate, then you will need to water less often. If it's in a terracotta pot, you may need to water more often because it is a little more porous. If the light is brighter, you may need to water more often. If it's lower, less often. So those are just some things to think about. Mainly light and temperature are, the biggest variables when it comes to watering succulents. So I just wanted to show you a couple of leaves. This is a Christmas cactus. It's very dry. As you can see, it looks wrinkled. It's not very plump. And this one is, I overwatered it on purpose. You can see how mushy the leaf is here. It's slightly discolored. It just feels as though there's too much water in there. And actually at a split there, and it's kind of oozing water out. So overwatered and underwatered, just so you can compare. Now when it comes to water temperature, I just use room temperature water is what I water my succulents with. And I don't mist my succulents. They don't need it. They have these fleshy leaves, so they actually don't need it, or they don't, like it. If you get a little bit of water on your succulent leaves, it's not the end of the world. It will dry off, but overall, you don't have to worry about, wetting the foliage at all. Except there are a few exceptions, and I'm going to tell you the ones that I have. They are the epiphytic cacti, which are the Christmas cactus and the Thanksgiving cactus. I have mine in the house. It's kind of big, so I didn't drag it out. And like the dancing bones here is an epiphytic cactus, along with the mistletoe cactus. These I water a little bit more often because they are native to the tropical rainforest, not drier areas. And also I will mist them, or I will wet their foliage about once a month. And what I mean by watering, or watering well, is you give it a good watering, let the water drain out. A chunky mix will do that, and the water does not collect in the pot at all, and you can avoid overwatering or root rot. And I'm doing a whole video and post dedicated to watering succulents that are in pots with no holes, like my Hatiora here, my dancing bones. There is no drain hole here. That's a whole different bag. So I will go into that in further detail in a month or so. Okay, so what I use to water my succulents, it's basically these two things. Usually this can here for my smaller succulents. I do have a couple of floor succulents. I have a pencil cactus and a big jade. I will use a bigger watering can, but I didn't haul that out for all these small ones. And then this bottle is super handy for like really little succulents, or if you have it in a planter and you just will want to get them on the surface. I'm also propagating these succulent leaves here for the succulent propagating video. So I will just squirt right around, and this is just as handy as can be. And I got this on Amazon. I will leave the link to it in the blog post in case you're interested in this handy dandy watering vessel. But that's about it. Don't water too often. Let them dry out. Room temperature water. Back off in the winter. And you don't need a lot of fancy equipment at all. Especially if you have only one or two succulents, you may only need one little can for it. So I hope you have found this video about watering succulents to be helpful. It's a really important point when it comes to succulent care. I have a lot more succulent videos coming your way, so you better stay tuned for those. And let's get into our indoor gardens or indoor succulent gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. I will catch you in the next video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!